Hey guys, just wanted to talk to you about my search for my adoptive family. Both my biological parents, my mom and my dad, are deceased. I have always been interested in trying to locate my birth siblings and any family members out there. My mom was a lawyer when she adopted me. So most adoptive parents do not have access to information on the child that they are going to adopt. They have a very little limited history and information on the family. While my mom had most of the information on my family, which was helpful for me. All I knew at the time when I was growing up that my last name was Alegre, which means happy in Spanish, I guess. And I knew a very little bit of Spanish when I was little. I'm number 12, the 12th child, I believe, the 12th or 13th child. I've managed to find all my birth siblings, plus aunts and uncles, and I have so many family members I have found on Facebook. I'm so lucky to have, these people in my life, even though I don't interact with them. I don't see them daily. I do interact with them on Facebook. And I started doing my family genealogy, which is hard because right now I'm stuck on my mom's side because I'm trying to determine I guess we have Indian in us, so I'm trying to figure out my mom's side. I'm not sure if it's Kiowa Indian or if it's, I want to say Cherokee on my dad's. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to find that information out, but I have to prove that somebody within my family line had Indian in them. So I have to have like 1/8, I believe. So I'm still working on that, but I've been doing my genealogy, and that was time consuming. Still very time consuming, but I haven't done it for a long time because I'm stuck on my mom's side. I can find people on my dad's side of the family left and right, no problem. But since names have been passed down, I forget who belongs to who, and there's so many Franciscos, and I just get lost. So I'm trying to do my mom's side of the family. But I got sidetracked, sorry. When I was doing my search, I went and got some books. This book is called Being Adopted, The Lifelong Search for Self by David M. Bronzinski. He's PhD. Marshall D. Schnichter, MD, and Robin Maritens Hines, or what I don't know. This book is very helpful because it talks about different like situations, like how you're feeling, and it's a roller coaster ride of emotions. I still have them, even though I have met my birth siblings, and I still get emotional when I talk to them. I try to talk to them at least once or twice, a week. It hasn't been that long. Last week I think I talked to my sister and my brother. And then I got another book called The Ghosts at Heart's Edge, Stories and Poems of Adoption. And this book, is good. I've cried. All my pages have tear stains in both my books, but it hits the heart. I'll show this book. Trying to get it in frame here. I'll read it. It says I'll read the back of it. It says, a generous and prismatic anthology of short stories and poems. As promised, the phantoms of mystery, mothers, fathers, children, grandparents, and grandchildren do shimmer between the lines of many stories and poems. The ghosts of could have beens, the spirits of what if, a vital and unforgettable reading experience for everyone, whether he or she is part of the adoption plexus or not. This one says, a beautifully compiled evocative collection of writing about the adoption experience with experience, which expertly weaves the voices of all the members of the adoption community into a tapestry of shared expressions of pain and loss and joy. So yeah, that book. And then he talks about, like, this being adopted book talks about, like, childhood, pains and stuff that you go through, and like, why, how come you have dark hair but your mom has red hair? Well, and I've explained, well, I was adopted, and go into the whole adoption story, and then they're like, well, you think you're better than I am because you're adopted. And it was never like that when I grew up. I always had to fight and tell people, no, I'm not special because I'm adopted. My mom made sure that I would, I was just like she treated me like my brother, which was her biological son. I didn't feel any different until I started getting older and really wanting to know more about my bloodline and stuff. And then once I got started having kids, I really needed to know that medical history on both sides. Both sides of my family have diabetes. Both sides have had strokes. It's just my family story is crazy. But I love every family member. I can't hate them because my mom was a product of rape. Her mom got raped when she had just turned 12. And then some story I heard, she had gotten kicked out of the tribe or whatever. They shunned her or whatever, however the heck they call that back then. So she didn't have parenting skills. Then both my mom and my grandma had her set of kids, and my grandma had her set of kids. And they used to go out bar hopping and stuff. And one of my story is that, and I did order online through Vital Statistics in Austin, Texas. I was born in El Paso. I had to write them to get the non-identifying information. And I knew I knew my last name. I knew my mom and dad's name. That's all the information I had. And I happened to start calling around. And I got some information, and my husband had called some people with the last name Alegre, and I actually found my half-sister, my dad's first part of his first family before he got his second family, which was me and the rest of my siblings. And I've talked to her, and we've talked, and I've talked to her daughter, and there's stories that I don't want to hear, but I didn't know my mom, so any story that I hear, I kind of have to take with a grain of salt because I didn't know her. But I know that she wasn't I know she couldn't have been a bad person. She did stupid things. So yeah, I was adopted at 2.5, and I found all my birth siblings when I was 33, a week after I got diagnosed with diabetes, which was lovely. But when I did find them, I had gotten this book by Troy Dunn, and at that time, I think he had only a couple books out at that time, but for some reason I went to the bookstore, and this book was calling me to buy it. And I'm not kidding. It was like, buy me, so I went and bought it and spent my $25 or whatever it was that it cost at that time. And I just skimmed through the book and had some pages that you could Xerox and send in, had forms. So I was like looking, and the back of it has phone numbers you can call. So I just happened to pick this 800 number. And this lady called, and I gave her the information I had on my sister, my half-sister. She's actually my half-sister, but she did. Dare I say that to her, because I get yelled at every time I say that. So I knew her name, and I knew, because I had already got my non-identifying information through Texas. And that took 6 to 8 weeks, which was making me crazy. And that was $25, I think, at the time. And of course, I've lost the damn thing moving, so now I have to reorder it and find the letter that I had written to the courts and all that. I have to go back through all that again, because I just want to have a copy of it. And so, anyway, so I called the 800 number on the back of the book, gave the lady on the phone my information I had, and I'm not kidding, within 5 minutes she found my birth sibling, Lucy. I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And she's like told me, if it's your sister, don't ask like, who's your mother? Ask something about like her school. And so I did. I called her and I was nervous as hell. I was like shaking so bad I was like sick to my stomach. So I called her and I said, is this Lucy so-and-so? And she said, yes. I said, did you happen to go? I said, I'm looking for a lady. I can't remember exactly how I said, but I said, I'm looking for such and such information. I said, did you happen to go to this high school? And she goes, oh my God. She goes, I did. And she goes, and then all of a sudden she goes, Veronica? I just like burst into tears. I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, oh my God, you know how long we've been searching for you? She goes, they gave us the wrong name. And she went into this whole spiel. And I was like, what? Well, calm down. And then she's like, oh my God, I got to call the rest of the siblings. And I was like, don't hang up. Don't hang up. I was like, I have to give you my fucking phone number. She starts laughing. She goes, oh, you cuss. I'm like, oh, sorry. I said, I didn't even think. I was like, whoops. Because, she's Christian and, godly and all that. But she's like, it's okay, I'll let you pass. I'm like, well, you have to because I'm the baby sister. She goes, that's true. And so, I gave her crap about that. So I gave her my phone number. And then, like, within half hour, all my birth siblings started calling me. I didn't know what to do because I was like, everybody sounded alike. The brothers sounded alike. The sisters sounded I was, like, freaking out. But all my brothers sounded alike to me. And I couldn't keep so-and-so story. I was trying to keep names straight, birthdays straight, who was married, who. And I know that not everybody has access to their information, and I believe that all adoptees should, once they're of age of 18, 19, if they're mentally and in their heart ready to find their family, I believe that they should try. I was scared. I was so scared. My husband helped me. Even now, I get emotional. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get emotional because those are my blood relatives. And when I had my kids, I was scared that they wouldn't know, any of that kind of stuff. I'm sorry. It's a very touchy subject for me, but these aren't always tears of, sadness. I'm happy that I found my birth family. Not everybody is as lucky as I was. I was scared that they were gonna, call me names and all that. And I do have a younger sibling after me. She was born December 20th, 1970. And I do believe that I found her, but my older brother jumped the gun and hired a private investigator to go spy on her, which of course then I was totally pissed off at him. I was like, why did you do that? She was, I was trying to talk to her, and I tried again, and her husband kind of, was really leery, and I just felt awful because I want to get to know her. But I told him, I said, if she ever needs to know any information, I said, please let her. I gave him my address and my phone number at the time. But I don't, we've never heard anything from her, but I still have her name. So that gives me comfort that I know that she's out there. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the camera. My makeup is smearing. But I understand what it feels like to hurt like that, and and to want. I mean, I knew I was wanted. Obviously, my mom wouldn't have adopted me if she didn't want me, and yeah. So I'm sorry for the big ball baby stuff. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that wasn't. I mean, I have a whole lot more stories if you guys are ever interested. I'll try not to cry through it. But that's my little bit of my adoption story. So I will sign off for now because now I gotta go calm myself down because I have to go call my sister. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.